You are a servant, a butler. You dress another man and pour his wine. And yet I am told you raised the most powerful vigilante in any world, the Batman. A man who strikes fear into criminals and gods alike. This interests me. How does a servant produce what lords cannot? My own children, raised in the greatest house in Westeros, have disappointed me at every turn. Yours, raised in the shadows of tragedy, became something extraordinary.
Master Bruce was not mine to produce, Lord Tywin. He was mine to support. There is a difference that perhaps explains more than either of us intended to discuss this evening. I did not shape Bruce Wayne. I stood beside him while he shaped himself. I offered counsel when he asked. I challenged him when he needed challenge, but the becoming was always his. I suspect your children were not extended the same courtesy.
A soft word for weak parenting. Children do not raise themselves. They require direction, discipline, a clear understanding of what is expected and what the consequences of failure will be. I gave my children the greatest name in the Seven Kingdoms. I gave them wealth beyond measure. I gave them every advantage a father could provide. What they did with those advantages is their failure, not mine.
You gave them a name. Did you give them your presence? You gave them wealth. Did you give them your attention? You gave them expectations. Did you give them the sense that they could meet those expectations and still be loved if they fell short? Advantages, Lord Tywin, are not the same as affection. A child drowning in gold can still starve for something you cannot buy.
I have seen loving fathers produce weak sons. Indulgent mothers raise monsters. Affection without structure creates chaos. My own father was affectionate. He was also a laughingstock. He let lesser lords mock our name. He let a mistress rule him. The Lannister name meant nothing by the time he died. I rebuilt it through discipline, through fear, through making absolutely certain that no one would ever laugh at us again.
And your children learned that lesson. Cersei learned that power comes through fear and manipulation. Jaime learned that your approval was more valuable than his own moral compass. Tyrion learned that no accomplishment would ever be enough to earn what he craved most. You taught them what you intended to teach, Lord Tywin. You simply did not anticipate what else they would learn in the process. Children absorb the lesson and the method. Both shape who they become.
Cersei is Queen Regent. Jaime is Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Tyrion was Hand of the King before his betrayal. These are not small achievements. Whatever failures you perceive, my children rose higher than any generation of Lannisters before them. The method produced results.
Cersei is Queen Regent of a kingdom that despises her. Her children are dead. 2 murdered, 1 driven to suicide by her own actions. She will die alone in the rubble of everything she built. Jaime abandoned his post, broke his vows, and spent his life trying to become something other than the man you made him. Tyrion killed you on the privy with a crossbow. These are your results, Lord Tywin. A legacy of ashes and patricide. If this is success, I shudder to imagine what you would call failure.
Tyrion's betrayal was the act of a twisted creature I should have drowned at birth. His mind was useful. His existence was a constant humiliation. I tolerated him for the family's sake. That tolerance was repaid with murder. This does not reflect on my methods. It reflects on his nature.
Let us examine his nature. Tyrion is brilliant, witty, capable of genuine kindness when permitted to express it. He served as Hand of the King and saved King's Landing from Stannis Baratheon through strategy that no one else conceived. He tried repeatedly to earn your approval. Do you know what he wanted most in the world, Lord Tywin? Not gold, not power, not women. He wanted you to say, once, that he was good enough, that the accident of his birth did not define his worth. You never said it, not once. And so he spent his life trying to prove something that you had decided before he could walk.
I could not say what was not true. His birth killed his mother, the only woman I ever loved. Every day of his existence was a reminder of what he cost me. You ask me to set aside this truth and offer affection I did not feel. I am not a performer, Mr. Pennyworth. I do not pretend.
And there is the wound beneath all the others. You blamed a child for a death he did not choose to cause. You punished an infant for being born. Everything that followed, every coldness, every cutting remark, every refusal to acknowledge his achievements, was revenge against a newborn who committed the crime of surviving his mother. This is not discipline. This is grief festering into cruelty. And you passed that cruelty to all 3 of your children in different doses.
You presume much for a servant.
I presume what I have observed. I was a servant, yes, but I was also a soldier, a medic, a man who has seen what trauma does to those who refuse to address it. You lost your wife. This is tragedy. You were mocked by your father's weakness. This is humiliation. You responded by becoming incapable of vulnerability, by treating your children as extensions of your ambition, rather than separate beings with their own wounds. Master Bruce lost both parents to violence when he was 8 years old. He could have become you, cold, controlling, incapable of trust. He did not. Do you know why?
Enlighten me.
Because someone loved him without condition. Because when he raged, I did not punish the rage. I sat with it. Because when he failed, I did not withdraw. I helped him understand what the failure taught. Because when he pushed me away, as children do, I remained. Not as a servant, as a witness to his pain, who refused to let that pain define him. You witnessed your children's pain and added to it. I witnessed Bruce's pain and shared it. That is the difference between your house and mine.
Jaime was not unloved. Cersei was not unloved. They were my golden children, my pride. I gave them everything I had to give. If they failed, it was not from lack of attention. Jaime had every advantage a son could want. Cersei was raised to be queen. These were not neglected children.
Jaime was your sword, a tool for martial glory. You did not see the boy who wanted to be a knight of honor, only the heir who would continue your name. When he joined the Kingsguard, you treated it as betrayal, rather than asking why he fled your plans. Cersei was your queen piece, a marriage alliance in waiting. You taught her that her value was in what she could secure for the family, not in who she was. She learned manipulation because manipulation was the only power you left her. Both children were loved as instruments. Neither was loved as a person.
And what of your Bruce? He dresses as a bat and fights criminals in the night. He has no wife, no heir, no continuation of the Wayne name. He is as broken as any of my children, yet you claim your methods superior. Where is the dynasty you built? Where is the legacy that outlasts you?
Master Bruce has saved Gotham countless times. He has raised children of his own, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, others who came to him as he came to me, broken, grieving, in need of someone who would not turn away. The Wayne legacy is not a name carved in stone. It is the people Bruce has touched, the lives he has saved, the family he chose rather than the one biology assigned. Your legacy, Lord Tywin, is 3 children who feared you, hated you, or killed you. Mine is a man who still calls me family despite every reason to push the world away. I know which legacy I would choose, and I suspect in whatever darkness you now inhabit, you are beginning to know as well.